Welcome to Jacket Talk on LEB TV.
It's another Thursday, which means another episode of Jacket Talk, so thank you so much for tuning in. A big shout out to our amazing sponsors, Ginger Wellness, Mercy Hospital, Mid-Missouri Bank, and Jacket Nation Sports. Before we get started, I just wanted to take time to thank everyone who came out to our first community tailgate on Friday before the football game. We had a great turnout, and I can't thank Brandon and Ryan Shoemaker with Graven Chrysler, Dodge Jeep Ram, and Southern Heights Christian Church enough for supplying the amazing barbecue. I'll try to have Brian Swino pop up the picture of our friend Trey Overstreet devouring the pulled pork sandwich, and that got turned into a pretty nice meme. Missouri Eagle provided our drinks, Scott Event Rentals brought the bounce houses, and of course, our friends over there at Gardner and Smith Insurance were gracious enough to let us host our first annual tailgate there. With that being said, let's get into our update with sports from around Lebanon High School. The boys swim team placed fourth at the Springfield Swim Meet last Friday. The team totaled 114 points in a loaded field. The 200-yard relay medley team of Eli Havens, Benjamin Nelson, Lucas Keene, and Jackson Fisher placed fifth, and the 400-yard relay team composed of the same swimmers placed third with a time of 3:48. Lebanon Soccer won a 3-1 game over the Crocker Lions last Thursday on the road. The Lebanon softball team traveled to a tournament at the lake last Friday and Saturday and played 4 games, totaling 7 games throughout the week. Lebanon got a nice 10-6 victory over Marshall, and according to head coach Kenyon Breedlove, the Lebanon Lady Yellow Jackets have upped their average runs per game by 1.5, so the team is trending upward. The tennis team got a 9-0 win over the Waynesville Tigers on Monday night at the Mary Jean Wampler Tennis Complex. Head coach Ron Kroll said Adeline Coriel and Hope Cox each had hard-fought wins in singles, and they both finished their matches very well. Lily Bradbury and Aaliyah James also dominated in singles, while Ray Guccione won the match that clinched the victory for LHS. Olivia Magruder improved to 8-0 with a win at number 1 singles. Josh Smith and the cross-country team hosted their annual home meet on Saturday at Nelson Park. I know Brian Swino was there to get some good shots along with Nancy Smith. The Yellow Jackets performed well against solid competition, with the varsity girls winning the team championship and the varsity boys securing a second-place finish. The JV squads were equally as impressive, as both the girls and boys JV teams clinched championships. Abigail Tague paced the team with a second-place finish, while Jenna Massey placed 9th, Millie Huff 11th, Jordan Eastburn 12th, and Caitlin Gonzalez 15th, while Bailey Cromer earned a medal, placing 19th. Liam Allen led the boys with a third-place finish, followed by James Perigo in 8th. Grant Colmeen placed 10th, and Easton Starnes finished in 18th. All their collective efforts secured a podium spot for the boys' team. The girls' golf team had a solid showing at the Bolivar tournament on Monday at Silo Ridge and will head to Lake Valley today for a match against the Campton Lakers and Osage Lady Indians. It's been a successful week for Jenny Collins and the volleyball program over the last few days. Last weekend, Lebanon won the Hillcrest Invitational with a championship win over the Webb City Cardinals in 3 sets, just a few days after falling to that same team on the road. Lebanon went 5-0-1 in the tournament, and on Tuesday, the varsity team won a 5-set thriller over the Republic Tigers, moving to 11-3-1 and 3-1 in the COC. Addie Redmond led the Lady Jackets in kills with 30, while Sailor Heldon added 28 digs, and Morgan Durbin chipped in with 37 assists. The Lady Jackets are heading to Willard tonight for a game against the Tigers. The Lebanon football team fell to 0-3 with a 28-14 loss to the Neosho Wildcats on Friday night. Lebanon had a 7-0 lead in the second quarter, but will look to get into the win column against the Willard Tigers on Friday night. At halftime, we'll have another production of The Extra Mile, which is a series produced by Brian Swino, with Swino Visuals spotlighting a student athlete who goes above and beyond in their respective extracurricular activity. This week, Lebanon senior Addie Redmond with the volleyball team, the chosen one, so make sure you stay tuned into the football stream on our YouTube channel and don't miss the work that Swino Visuals puts into this. There was a ton of positive feedback for our first recipient, Carter Singh, and his weightlifting journey, and we're excited to keep bringing these to you guys. Let's hear from my partner, Kevin Stubblefield, who is with head coach Will Christian at Buzzcuts, and hear what Coach C has to say about the game from last Friday. And make sure you stay tuned for Trey Overstreet and Lebanon defensive coordinator Curtis Allen on Chalk Talk. This has been another Lebanon High School sports update on Jacket Talk on LEB TV, and we'll see you guys next week. Go Jackets!
name is Jaisha Connor, owner and nurse practitioner here at Ginger Wellness. I believe that sometimes healthcare does too much, and I believe that's where wellness centers can really bridge that gap and really give people some confidence in natural ways, healthier ways, to really improve quality of life and to get healthy.
We want to feel better and live better lives. It's not about quantity, it's a lot about quality of your life.
Ginger Wellness is where I went to get my quality of life back.
How much has your bank paid you? We've paid our Kasasa account holders more than $7 million since 2017. Open an account in minutes to get in on the earnings today.
Welcome back to Buzz Cuts in downtown Lebanon. It is Jacket Talk Overtime on LEB TV, brought to you by Mid-Missouri Bank, also by Mercy, Jacket Nation Sports, and also by Ginger's Wellness. Mel's providing lunch today, thanks to Mel's restaurant in downtown Lebanon also. Coach C with us as Lebanon gets ready for a Week 4 engagement on the road at Willard to take on the Tigers on grass turf on Friday night, Coach. That's a little bit strange, isn't it?
It is. I think the last time we played on grass was there.
Yeah.
And so definitely a little bit different. However, they do a really nice job with it. So it's a real quality surface, especially considering that they haven't had any major rain and it's not the end of the year. So in a lot of ways, if I was a player, I'd rather play on natural grass surface that was good than the artificial surface.
Mm-hmm. Another hot week, and it's going to be hot on Friday, the weather projects. So, again, conditioning and hydration is going to be a big factor.
Yeah, it is. All those health components. Yesterday was a grind, pushing through. I thought our kids did a good job with it, but definitely as the season goes on, these hot days and weeks add up and make it challenging. And so but that's part of the toughness of doing it. You know, we told our kids at the end of the day, you know, as we coached them hard and pushed them hard, that, you know, not everybody can do it. And it makes them special that they're out there, battling through those tough situations, tough conditions in order to do it. So proud of them for that. Definitely Friday. I mean, we'll have to do a good job throughout this whole week. Not just Friday, of making sure that, you know, we're in a spot where cramping isn't an issue. I think our kids have done really, really good job with that up to this point. And so I've been pleased with that. We've had a little, but not probably what we could have had, especially with the depth problem and the number of guys we have contributing in a lot of ways.
Well, I'm sure Jacket Nation wants to know, as we visit on Wednesday morning, the status of JAX Glendenning as a chance for him playing this Friday after he had to leave the Neosho game last week.
Well, using the NFL terminology is questionable. So he's not out, but he's not in either. So, you know, it's one of those things that the medical professionals make those decisions. When we're given the green light, then we move forward. He has been rehabilitating, which is a positive for all Jacket Nation fans. I think that his return is sooner than later, but I don't want to speculate on Wednesday if his return is going to happen this Friday or not. I'm going to let the medical professionals make those decisions this week.
So I'm going to assume he has not been cleared to return to practice yet.
Yeah, he did not practice in our Monday or Tuesday practice. And so at this point, he is not.
Did he take himself out of the ball game Friday night?
It was a mixed deal. He alerted us to, definitely something not going right. And then along with our athletic trainer and then us as a coaching staff, we made the move that, definitely he didn't need to return until he could be thoroughly assessed at halftime. And then, see how the hamstring would react. And it didn't react favorably. And, certainly in week 3, we don't want to cost the entire season for our team or the kid. And so it was best that we not return him. And so, that's how things went down. But certainly I thought our team, even with that being said, still had opportunities. and played tough and hard. Avery Starnes came in and, was our B back and had 90 yards rushing and run the football hard. And so JAX is clearly a pivotally important piece to the puzzle on our football team in many, many ways. But we've got to be ready for circumstances where JAX is not able to go, or any player is not able to go for that matter.
As you go back and review that Neosho game, they're a good football team, Coach. They're a veteran football team. They've got quite a few seniors, and especially in the skill position component. So good quarterback, good receivers, good running back. Denver Welch, I mean, he was at Missouri State for a visit on Saturday night up there. So they're a good football team, and you stayed right with them. It was a tough physical football game in the COC Friday night.
Yeah, it was. And, last year, obviously, Neosho had its struggles. And so, a lot of folks probably look at, their win-loss column from a year ago and assume, well, that should have been a gimme. But what you would analyze if you dig a little deeper is that they scored a lot of points last year and were in a lot of those games against great competition. So they really weren't that far away, which is kind of the same spot we feel right now at 0-3. We feel like we're not very far away. And so, with that being said, they definitely made some drastic improvements defensively, and they're a handful. And if you look at their schedule, there's a path where they could be 7-0, 6-0. No disrespect to what they have upcoming. Just looking at, what the odd makers would say, they're a favorite in several games upcoming. And so definitely Neosho has got things going in the right direction in this campaign, and kudos to them.
Couple of early turnovers in the first half kind of compromised your effort there. No more turnovers after that, but again, those two early fumbles, they played into the part, didn't they?
Our margin for error is very small right now. We need to be on the plus side of the turnover differential. I've said that from the beginning, and it continues to be pivotal. We need to create more turnovers, and we've got to take care of the football. I really believe for us to get in the win column and consistently stay in the win column, Kevin, that is a component that has to start to be on our side as soon as possible. We need to be at least +1. I think if we're +1, we give ourselves a great chance to win week in, week out, and we've got to work really hard to get there.
I had you for 70 plays on offense Friday night, so you possessed the football, 20 first downs. You were 9 of 13 on third down. So possession of the football was good for your football team on Friday night. Still missing the explosive play component, though, aren't you?
We are. Our plus 25 plays are limited a little bit. We got one in the passing game this last week, which was certainly something that we've been working on and looking to do, and that was a major plus with Beckett's connection with Ogle. But definitely, from the standpoint of some of our running game, we haven't had a bunch of it. JAX had some big runs in the Joplin game, but we haven't had enough, and so we're continuing to try to get those things solidified. And some of that is not so much just on the kid breaking it or making the play, but it is our downfield blocking. It's blocking some of those second and third level players and execution of that we've got to get better at as well to help create some of those plus 25 plays. And I think we'll see more of those as the year goes on, as we start to figure out things more, especially with some of our inexperienced folks, and especially also with the fact that we're seeing well-coached defenses that are schemed up well, and that are tackling well, and they prohibit some of those things, which in close, tight football games, you're going to see. I mean, if you analyze the collegiate or NFL level, you're not going to have in close contested games a ton of plus 25 plays because everybody is scheming up to prevent those. And so you got to drive the football, you got to execute, you got to eliminate penalties, you got to take care of the ball. It forces you to play the game cleaner and better.
I've liked the way the football team has come out offensively in each of the first 3 weeks and really drove the football effectively. I think that's a credit to the coaching staff and Brian Summer for really kind of scripting things out there early in the football games.
Yeah, Brian does a tremendous job, as he has since taking over the offense in 2015. Obviously, with a lot of moving parts and new parts, there's a lot going on right now to make our offense better. But when you look at us statistically, we've been very productive. Obviously, the problem is that, we're turning the football over a little bit. And also Friday, we had a little bit of problems in the red zone, in particular inside the 5. And so, obviously we've got to get those things fixed and continue to expand. Every week with our quarterback, we're expanding and he's improving drastically each week. So progress is being made, even though obviously in the win-loss column with the general fan, it doesn't appear that way, but it definitely is taking place. Our kids are working really hard. Our staff's working really hard. And we're going to continue to grow in that area.
What was the bounce back vibe on Monday when you returned to work?
Well, our kids are, I think, doing a good job. Obviously, there is a cloud right now. Some of it is a little bit of just some natural front runnerism, is what I call it. When you look at the fact that over the past 10 years, we've won 70% of our games, 8.1 wins per season over that 10-year span. 0-3 is hard for kids, community, parents, fans, coaches, everybody alike. And so we've really got to battle through some of those mental bugs that make us want to feel sorry for ourselves, point fingers, make excuses, all the things that can come with being a front runner. And so we're hammering away on that. I think our kids are probably the best group of all of them that are staying focused on what we need to do. And we're just going to continue to hammer away. That's really all we can do, right? The controllables. What we can't do is go back. 0-3's done. And we really need to be all about trying to be 1-0. And I think our kids, they buy into that because ultimately that's all that can be controlled at this point.
Our vantage point from the broadcast booth on Friday night, we remarked that this was the best performance by your football team compared to the previous 2 weeks. I thought week number 3 against Neosho, your football team put more things together, and I saw some improvement. Would you concur with that?
Yeah, there's no doubt improvement is happening, which we're very proud of. We're proud of the fact that we feel like our kids are playing with a lot of guts and courage and no quit. Now, obviously, when you study film, it's never 100%. There's some that we've got to get there, but the mass majority, which paints the picture that we want. But certainly in the realm of execution, in the realm of production, in all elements, there's been growth. We just got to continue to hammer away at it. Partially, the margin for error is very small, which continues to have us on the side of the win-loss column that we don't want to be. And then there's some other tangible excuses. They're excuses, but they're real. The injury bug hasn't been nice to us at this point. We definitely have some key guys out. And obviously the fan doesn't want to hear any of that, right? That's not what the fan wants to hear, but it's real, especially when they're veteran players that, are very talented and starting capable guys. So that's something that we have to battle through. That's been a distraction. But it is what it is. And then also, I feel like that, we've got to fix more things that are shooting our foot off, so to speak. Some of the penalties, and then obviously you've mentioned already the turnovers.
Well, you threw for 74 yards on Friday night in the Neosho game, and that by far and away is the best passing performance of the season.
And it's going to continue to grow, and it's important. I know that, folks would like to see us throw it more, but that's not what we are. And our play action and our quick passing game is very effective, but there's a lot of timing components. There's a lot of protection components that, you got to get it all right. Because the old adage that the old coach would say, if you had Coach Harv Welch back on the show, He might talk about the 3 things that can happen when you pass, and 2 of them, Kevin, are bad. So you got to do a really good job of making sure that everything is a fine-oiled machine, because negative plays cause you to punt. And so, it's important when we're throwing the football that we're effective.
On the road to Willard on Friday night to face the Tigers. It's been a while since Lebanon has played there. Been several years since you faced Willard. That was a district opponent 5 or 6 years ago. They're under new guidance. So what's your impression of the Willard Tigers going into Lebanon's matchup on Friday? Yeah,
they're a 2-1 football team. They won a close ball game with Waynesville on Friday night, a high-scoring affair. And then they won a close game in a lower scoring affair with Glendale. Coach McFarland did a fantastic job at his time at Hillcrest as a coordinator, and then taking to the head coaching ranks at Reed Spring, leading them to a state finals appearance, and now taking over at Willard. I think he does a tremendous job. I think he's a very good play caller. I think he does a very good job of analyzing an opponent and attacking what's going to give his team the best opportunity to be successful. And so with that, we as a defense have got to do a good job of trying to not make them comfortable, not being in the same kind of looks, and really, adhering to, things that, especially in their passing game, would make the quarterback and coordinator not confident in what they're getting ready to get in that post snap. So we're going to do a good job of that. I think Coach Allen has done a great job defensively this year, along with Coach Hicks, our 2 coordinators there. And I think if you analyze us defensively, I believe our defenses gave us opportunities. The only thing that I would say are slight negatives are the plus 25 passing plays. We've got to do a little bit better job there, and then not getting enough takeaways. But we've defended the run excellently this year, which has caused some opponents to be one-dimensional. And I think we've done a decent job of getting pressure. We run out of gas a little bit late in games in that. So I feel like that we've got a great opportunity to defend our opponent Friday, and we've got to do a great job there. And then offensively, we just need to continue to be productive, and we need to take care of the football. And I think that we're going to move the chains. We're going to move the ball. We're going to score. We got to take care of us. Really doesn't matter what our opponent's going to do defensively Friday. It just matters what we do. And I think that we've got great opportunities Friday. Great opportunities. And we've got to show up, and we got to be real hungry, Kevin. We got to be real hungry to win. One of the things that I talked to our team about, and we addressed in our practice format on Tuesday, is that late in the games, teams are not going to hand it to us. We got to take it. We've got, in the fourth quarter, we've got to go take the game. And so we're learning how to do that right now. And I think our kids are close. And I think Friday night will give us a great opportunity to prove that we can do it.
See you Friday at Willard. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yellow Jackets and the Willard Tigers Friday night on Jacket Nation Sports, 7 o'clock kickoff. And this has been Jacket Talk Overtime from Buzzcuts, brought to you in part by Ginger's Wellness, by Jacket Nation Sports, by Mercy and Mid-Missouri Bank. Again, I-44 Speedway finale is this Saturday night. Gates will open at 4. Hope you can attend and enjoy that intermission concert by Wyatt McCubbin at I-44 Speedway. Thanks for joining us from Buzzcuts for another edition of Jacket Talk Overtime.
You shouldn't have to give up the hometown bank experience to enjoy modern convenience. Just check our Google reviews about our in-person, online, and mobile banking experiences. Open an account in minutes today.
He will
run out of the pistol, take the snap, and lob one on the side, and it's intercepted for a pick six by Cannon Roar.
Takes the handoff, looking for Roar deep, and it is caught in the end zone.
Alex, it's always hot weather in August, but high school football season is here, and the Lebanon Yellow Jackets now in the Central Ozark Conference.
Say goodbye to some key seniors, so next man up mentality as always for Will Christian and the Yellow Jackets. Should be interesting to see how they fill those voids on both the offensive and defensive side of football.
Welcome to Week 4 of Chalk Talk, presented by Brickhouse Grill. Brickhouse is proudly owned and operated by the Knight family. Brickhouse will have Friday night football games live on the TVs and will be giving 10% off your bill to those wearing Yellow Jacket gear. And don't forget about Wednesday nights as they have bingo. Coach Allen, you made it down to bingo night?
I have not played bingo.
I have not made it down there either,
player,
but I have I've heard a few
lot of fun.
Coach Roark makes it down there, and Coach Weatherman. So we got a few of those spring coaches getting down there. Me, you, and Coach Boyer may have to sneak
hit
down
it up
there
this winter.
Take care of business. If you didn't realize already, this week's guest is Yellow Jacket defensive coordinator Curtis Allen. Curtis, thanks again.
Thanks
Appreciate
for having
you.
me.
Yeah.
Thanks for Brickhouse too, by the way. It was unbelievable.
What did you have over there?
A chicken wrap. And that's the first time I've ever had it.
And what was that sauce?
It was a little Asian sauce they put on
That
there.
looked incredible. I had the, I think they called it the Hawaiian. It was a chicken
Looked good.
sandwich with a pineapple on it, and I liked it a lot.
And then whatever that sweet goodness was you had in
That's 2 weeks in a row they've given us a kind of a mystery dessert, and they are 2 for 2.
Yeah, they're
So,
unbelievable.
Keep that up, and make sure you guys check out Brickhouse. New menu, I think, debuted last Monday, so they're starting to roll on that and take advantage of the 10% off for those of you going to wear Yellow Jacket gear and watch the Yellow Jackets go get a road win at Willard. Coach, Neosho came to town last weekend, and obviously results weren't what we wanted, but there was some plays we put on film that I think we can, showcase some of the plays made in space, and then kind of given. I've heard a bunch from these young coaches that are down there with those young kids that this stuff is helping them. You teach kids how to tackle, teach kids some of your formation stuff, and then for Coach Summer, I think they're hopefully getting a little closer to running our offense how we want to down there. So they've been pretty thankful for that so far, and hopefully we can continue to give them something good. First play we've got here is, I believe we're still in the first quarter here, maybe into the early second, but I think we're still first quarter. We've got a trips formation up top here from Neosho. Talk to me just kind of what the plan was. Goodness gracious. Here we go. Look at that circle.
Yeah,
That's a
so
trips.
we're in our 3-4 defense in our tight front. We call it Tiger.
Okay.
And we're actually I think Coach Hicks is in what we call green coverage, which is our match cover 3 coverage. And they run speed option to the trip side against us.
Okay. So we've got the field up to the left here, and then they've got the formation up to the field.
Right.
What does that do to a defense there? What when you see the formation up into the field, you have to do any adjustments there? Or is it just widening this outside linebacker?
We actually expect it to the field most of the time. We have to do some different things, when they run the formation into the boundary.
Okay.
Because we have some checks and we run a lot of stuff, not giving away a bunch of secrets, but we run a lot of stuff to the field. A lot of our calls go to the field.
When you're talking formation in the boundary, you would say that is when
they would put the trips into the boundary.
Put the trip side down here. So if they had another one like this, that gives you a little more issues.
It does.
Gotcha.
It can.
Yeah.
Just we don't see it as much.
Gotcha.
So
you're saying they're running speed option here, and that's we don't have speed option in the playbook necessarily, but we are an option team, so that's something that's kind of a little bit like what we'd see on our side of the football. We've got to have option responsibility. Looks like you've got Nick Allen here.
Yeah, so he's squatting on the quarterback.
He's got the QB,
which Nick all game, and we have what we do with our DNs, what we call crash or surf.
Okay.
If the back is to him, he's crashing, going to play zone, counter. If he's in a surf technique, which he is right here, he's kind of squatting and playing on the quarterback like he does in this.
So then who has quarterback responsibility here?
Nick does, and then also JAX does.
Or sorry, the pitch. I'm sorry. So you got Nick on quarterback.
Nick's on quarterback. JAX is also on quarterback this game, but he was split out so wide.
Yeah.
We have to put Nick on him also. And then what we tell our outside linebackers when they get, or our inside linebackers, sorry, when they get speed option, they just run to the ball. So they're quarterback to pitch.
So that's this is Braden Christian right here. This is a pretty sweet play. Nick does a good job of stretching it, and then Braden using speed and athleticism to get there, to get it started, and then is that JAX
cleaning up? Yeah, you can tell both those guys are wrestlers too.
No kidding.
Both shooting
Playing
single
low,
legs there.
Yeah, JAX may even got him a double in.
I feel like that's something we've been really good at so far this year is playing the run when teams want to go east and west on us.
Oh, absolutely.
Sideline to sideline, we can run as well as anybody. I feel like
we talked about that going into week 2, that this defense is kind of built to defend what most teams in the conference and most teams in the country are doing now in the spread look.
Correct.
So it's nice to have guys that can run like Braden. We'll move on here to the next play. Or actually, we get a little end zone look. This kind of gives you a really good idea of how far Braden has to go to make this play, to at least get it started. He sits on the quarterback for a second, like you said, just get to the ball, right?
Yeah, he's going we tell him quarterback to pitch.
As soon as he sees pitch, he's flying downhill. And I know that his dad will probably give him a hard time about missing that tackle, but he
slowed him down.
Definitely slows him down and lets JAX get off of a block there and make a play. All right, we got another one here, and this is another wide formation using we're on the left hash. Number 2's lined up on the hash, and they're way out on the numbers here. So they're forcing you guys to spread this defensive formation out, back away. What kind of call are you in here? You're just in your normal 3-4 front,
So
right?
our front, if we can go to the end zone view real quick,
absolutely.
I could tell you. So we are what we call skunk. So we are in a gap scheme to the field.
Okay,
to
so
the
you
right
got
side
your
of the
nose
field.
gapped a little bit.
Yes.
So you would normally line up in a 0 and a 4?
Correct. Yes,
Here.
that's our normal alignment. And you can see we're gapped. We're not gapped as good as I'd like us to be up top.
This guy, you want to be in
Yeah,
here.
we want to. We tell them when we get in gap, we want to line up in the gap.
Yeah, get in the gap and just play the gap, right?
Play that gap.
You're not slanting out of that or anything crazy.
Correct.
Usually just get in the gap and win it. And
we had we gambled a little bit here. We had double fire on, which is both of our inside linebackers. Yep.
And
Braden Christian gets home on this one. He's so quick and not very big. Yeah, he's hard to see in there. So those guys miss him every now and then, and you can see how quick he gets to the football.
I mean, immediately to the football, and you'll be able to see that a little better out of this view. So you're bringing both these guys.
Yeah, both inside backers.
They do a pretty good job of making that late,
Yeah, they disguise it.
That kind of sets a defense that's got the chance to be, I think, really good towards the end of the season. The little things that you gain every week, right? Yeah. You can work on that all summer long, but until you get into game moments, it's really hard.
Especially second and 1 in the red zone. Against the tempo team.
Exactly. Yeah, so for them to wait this long to show that, and I'm sure most high school teams aren't calling their own protection off of this anyway, but the coaching staff, if Braden walks up into this A gap where he's going to go, that staff member or somebody up here where we're at up top might say, hey, we got something hot.
Yeah, hot.
We got to get rid of this. And they clearly don't have a hot call here. So it's a great defensive play call. Like you said, you took a chance and pays off down here. And something, credit to you and your kids. Multiple times they put long drives together and you kept them out of the end zone. You kept them from points at all on the first possession of the game after they had a pretty nice long drive, then again down here to end the half. And stuff like that. We talked with Coach Summer last week was just, you guys playing together and giving each other a chance. They make a mistake, you pick them up. You make a mistake, you pick them up.
For sure.
That's why it's so special on a Friday night.
It is. It's an ultimate team game.
You have to have 11 dudes do the right thing to score a touchdown. Almost always, unless you have a true freak of nature. And even then, because we got one.
Yeah.
And it takes 11 dudes doing it right.
It does. And we're seeing now, this new league, we've talked about it. Me and you talked about it. Our margin of error is so small.
It's tiny.
Right now.
Yeah. One turnover can be the difference.
It can.
One missed coverage can be the difference. It's just, we've said it every week, and I'm going to continue to say it because I truly do believe it. But you guys are going to be better for this stretch. And,
absolutely.
And I
said touchdown.
Watching the freshman game from up in the booth here, a nice freshman crew we have. Some
very
exciting,
nice. Yeah,
pieces
it's exciting to see.
Oh yeah. We talk about it weekly, but you're going to be better in the playoffs because of moments like this, and it's just selling that to those kids and in the hallways. it's, I think everybody at home would think the vibes are pretty low, and they're not.
No,
nobody likes to lose. I don't want anybody to get me confused when I say that, but the commitment to come to work for those kids and for you guys is unwavering, and something that I was, truly, to be honest, I was a little worried about how high school kids would respond to being 0-3 for the first time in their lives. And you guys have not been 0-3. So, it's really encouraging for me and for Boyer to see just the smiles in the hallway and the smiles at practice and coming to work, and it's still football.
The kids are fighting their butts off, every snap. They're playing super hard. And right now on the defensive side of the ball, I told you, we're not doing a lot of things right, but we're playing so hard right now. It's making up for some things,
So now when you get all that,
we get everything right, and if we'll still play with this kind of effort we're playing with right now, we'll be in good shape.
Yeah, I agree, Coach. Well, I appreciate you coming on, and
appreciate you having me.
One more thanks to Brickhouse Grill there and the Knight family, and for feeding us. I am stuffed.
I'm miserable. Yeah, I'm ready for a nap
in the best way.
Yeah,
I'd like to go to sleep now and wake up about 6:30 tomorrow morning.
You bet, or 9:30. That'd be okay too.
Too. All right, Coach. Well, good luck this week at Willard, and we'll see you here in a couple weeks.
Go get one this week.
Yep.
That's going to wrap things up for us on this week's episode of Jacket Talk on LEB TV. There are new episodes of Jacket Talk every Thursday and Jacket Talk Overtime on Fridays with Coach Christian and Kevin Stubblefield on the LEB TV YouTube page. We'll see you same time next week. Go Jackets.
Welcome to Jacket Talk on LEB TV.